Oh boy, this thing's finna get real spicy, as you can see. Shout out to all my brothers and sisters around the world, my beautiful patriots, beautiful people. I hope everybody is blessed, well, and healthy, and that nothing but the best is going on in all you beautiful people's life, man. Make sure y'all drop a like, and if you're new here, subscribe to the channel. I'm again wishing nothing but the best, not only in you guys' life, but your kids' life, the future, the next generation, man. We're currently living in some dark, I gotta put a little emphasis on it, dark times, y'all. Dark times, man. And this woke culture, this wokeness has, the world isn't the same, man. The society, our America is just, we're going downhill. We're declining at a very, very fast rate, y'all. But I want to send a huge shout out to my brother Matt, man, true patriot. Been showing so much love lately on the channel. And send me this to check out what you guys and react to. And also thank you for the kind donation as well. And again, I love y'all, man. Thank y'all for all the love and support on the channel. Has been through the roof. Man, we have over 40,000 new family members this month, man. Wow. So many amazing, beautiful people around the world. And again, I'm not only wishing the best in you guys' life, but your family's life, your kids' life, man. As we go through these dark times, y'all. Y'all spread the love, man. God is love, and I love y'all, man. Y'all spread it. But let's go and jump straight in. Make sure you drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new here now. Come on now. And we're riding, baby. Let's check it out.
One thing that happened here, Kahindi, this is this producer of a West End show, Slave Play, which features a Games of Thrones star, Kit Harington, among the cast. It runs from end of June to end of September at the Noel Coward Theatre, and will have blackout events confirmed to be taking place on 2 of those nights. This is where 2 performances will be aimed at an all-black identifying audience that is free from the white gaze, and it follows a similar thing on Broadway in 2019. Now, Prime Minister Rishi Sunak's official spokesman says restricting audiences on the basis of race would be wrong and divisive. I mean, my take on this was, I was trying to imagine if you had an all-white cast and you said, right, we're going to have an all-white identifying audience free from the black gaze, you would go absolutely apoplectic with rage.
It clearly wouldn't be the same.
Why wouldn't it be the same?
Because the problem here is, if you go to some of these shows, you will find there is an all-white audience. Unfortunately, because of the way it works, some of these places, they are almost exclusively white. And so what this is dealing with...
Just advertising it in that way, you would deem it extremely racist and offensive.
So there is a problem that you have almost all white audiences, and it doesn't feel like a safe space for black audience members or Cashapp. And so what you're saying is trying to address this problem, let's have an all-black space.
So when you go to the theatre, if you see
there's no problem with...
Oh boy.
When you go to the theatre and you see white people there, you don't feel safe?
No, when I promise you go to a theatre and it's all black people, you'll feel away. I promise you, 100%. Have you ever been into a theatre and it's all black?
I've been to rap concerts in America where I've been one of the few white people. Yeah,
it's different.
I thought absolutely fine, thanks.
The point is, it's different. When you go, it's different for me. When I go into these places, it's different. It doesn't feel comfortable.
But just to make it, so in answer to my question, though, that's my question. If there was an all-white identifying audience built,
And disclaimer, y'all know how we feel about the race card. Y'all know how we feel about it, man. And y'all know we're all brothers and sisters. At the end of the day, we all bleed the same. But again, I told y'all, you've seen the title. It's a heated. It's one of those topics, man. So I love y'all though, man. Hope be respectful in the comments. Now I know the comments are gonna get shaky on this video. So
as the marketing that was free from the black gaze, you would say that was racist.
Because it would be racist. This is to address a specific problem. There is in the cultural sector, there is all white
only
spaces.
works.
So how do you address that?
Right. So racist if it's to do with.
You're just minimizing the importance of that conversation again. You're just making it a hypocritical conversation to call.
The reality is, naturally, if you have all black spaces, other races are going to feel some kind of way. It's like you're purposely separating yourself from the rest of the British public. So naturally, white people might feel a bit offended. White people might feel a bit like, why would you do that? There are certain black people who do feel uncomfortable around white people. There are certain black people who do feel uncomfortable around other races apart from their own race. Now, the question is why? Well, certain black people are scared. Certain black people are fearful. Certain black people just like doing their own thing. They like their own culture and they want to be surrounded by other people who are part of that culture. As a black man, I understand that mentality, but I truly believe if you want to get on in this country, if you want to really coexist in a healthy way, you can't be separating yourself from the larger British public. You can't be doing that. It's bound to cause offense and interpersonal issues. So I understand where Piers is coming from. There is a bit of a double standard. I understand that there is an element of fear that black people experience. Some black people experience when they are around white people, but at the same time, it's like, in order to really thrive in this country, I truly believe you gotta learn how to coexist.
The importance of that conversation again. You're just making it a hypocritical conversation to cause an argument.
Or am I exposing a double standard?
No, there isn't a double standard.
I'm actually exposing the hypocrisy.
One of these groups is a minority and one isn't. And you always bang on, and I hate to bring this in because I don't want to have a debate about it, but you always bring in safe spaces for women, which I completely agree with. And you talk about how important that is, but then suddenly when there's a safe space for black people, you've got an issue with it. So what's going on there?
I don't understand why
some double standards there.
Theatre is not
answer my question, please.
But y'all know Morgan, he gonna put his foot down, and I'm here for him. He knows how to stomp them big feet, don't he?
There's some double standards.
Sorry, you're making out that somehow black people can't go to the theatre for fear of
No,
what?
but we're having a conversation about safe spaces, and the idea is that by doing a blackout event, it will feel safer for that community to talk.
So what if I want to have
issues.
a whiteout event?
They all are white.
Well, you can join the Ku Klux Klan if you want, Piers. You're more than welcome.
So if it's a whiteout event, it's Ku Klux Klan, right? Who are the most racist group in history? I got it.
No, Piers,
so one way, if it's whiteout, Ku Klux Klan.
The point is,
if it's blackout, absolutely fine.
Piers, the point is, it's already white.
You see how ridiculous it sounds?
The point
you
is,
see how ridiculous you sound.
Let's
bring in Amala, the voice of common sense. Amala, I mean, just hearing these two, honestly, trying to work out in their brains.
Just hearing these two.
Very slowly, it seems to me, the ridiculous double standard of what they're saying. You must be laughing, aren't you?
Oh, I'm laughing. I'm shaking my head. To me, this is absolutely ridiculous. It is one of the most blatantly racist things I've seen in quite some time. And it's quite literally demeaning to black people. How insulting that you would say to black people that they don't feel safe in a space because there are fellow white people there and they need to be safe from the white gaze. And how racist it is to white people to exclude them from being able to enjoy something like the theater.
That is the realest thing I've heard in a minute. This is the problem with the woke left. They don't even realize that they be trying to insult us. They treat us like bloody children, like animals, like little dogs.
It's ridiculous, man. Again, a lot of this stuff we've called out on previous videos. It's disgusting, man. I told y'all this thing was gonna get spicy now. You know, told y'all it was gonna get spicy.
Dogs, little cats. We gotta be mollycoddled. We gotta be treated like little children. We can't think for ourselves. Oh my gosh, the little black people are gonna be afraid. The little black people are so fragile, they can't hang around white people. It's absolutely insulting. James Barr is a white gentleman and he's speaking for black people like he understands the experience. Yes, there is a small proportion of black people who are probably scared. They are scared, they're fearful. Okay, I accept that. But to act like the black population in the UK, the US, wherever are completely scared of whites, it is so insulting, so insulting. I've stated this many times. Black people are not a monolith. Just because one black gentleman does something doesn't mean I'm going to do that exact same thing. We don't all listen to hip hop. We don't all grow out our hair like this. We're all very different, come in different shades, different colors. Some of us embrace the hip hop culture, some of us don't.
It is to white people to exclude them from being able to enjoy something like the theater. This is very reminiscent of the Jim Crow South that we experienced in America, where you had white and colored water fountains. This is the very same reality that we are now ushering in, even though we made it to a time of progress where this was no longer an issue. We are inviting it back. It is racist.
It is not the same. In any way, shape, or form, is this the same as Jim Crow? What you actually have in the minute is go to a show in the West End. It feels like Jim Crow already. It's already a whiteout. This is an anti-racist way.
But if white people did this, we're the KKK.
You do it all the time.
Okay.
That's the point.
Yeah.
It's
And
okay.
here's
Can I
the
just speak from a
problem.
queer perspective
Here's
for a
the
second?
problem.
From a queer, what about a very ignorant perspective?
As a gay person,
KKK.
it's important that I am sometimes in a space of other queer people that is just queer people, so I feel safe to be myself.
You exclude
without
straight
worrying,
people like me?
okay? I would exclude you,
That's
Piers, but
bigoted.
if you want to go to JAY with me,
I've been
more
there,
than
mate.
Let's
I've
go
been
together.
there.
Great. But listen, my point is, we need safe spaces so that we feel safe. And actually, you're talking about it being
We don't.
racist
feel
to exclude
unsafe
white
with
people.
me standing
Why are
there?
white people not making black people feel
Do
safe?
you feel
That's the
unsafe
question.
now?
That is the
Do
question.
you feel unsafe now with a straight guy opposite you?
Not really, no.
Do you feel unsafe with a
not
white
about
guy?
any
sitting
It's
there?
not about that,
It's
Piers.
about
To be
10,000
honest,
white people
sometimes I do
say
feel a bit
already.
unsafe sat here, actually. Yes, especially with the comments that
Well,
we
after
receive.
comparing my position to KKK,
I did not compare that. I said you could join them if you wanted that. That's what I said.
so yeah, just to be clear, if it's free from the black gays, it's KKK. Free from the white gays, that's
This is an anti.
emancipation.
This is
Right.
an anti-racist idea. This is what the whole point is, to address a problem.
It's actually, in its
That's the
own
point.
way,
That's
it's
what
just blatant
But you
racism.
see, that's how most of them respond, though. You know? Yeah, Morgan made a valid point. You know, Morgan said, what about the... I'm sitting here, you know? We're living in some dark times, y'all. Oh, boy.
Racism.
It's not racism.
It is.
not racist.
It's
You can
excluding
still vote.
people on their skin colour. It's the exact opposite
People-
of what
white
Martin
people
Luther
can
King
still
said. Judge people by the content
But
of
you
their
just a minute
character.
ago, you were
It's racism. Ironically enough, it's racism. Now, there is the argument that some black people put forward, which is because black people are not really in a position of power collectively, then it's impossible for black people to be racist against white people. Some people do put forward that argument. I'm not so sure I agree with that. At the end of the day, if you are purposely saying that no, white people cannot attend the same theater shows as black people, then I don't know. That does sound like discrimination. That does sound like racism. Even if you don't want to call it racism, that is straight up discrimination based on skin color. In regards to individuals who are scared, black individuals who are worried or they feel uncomfortable being around other white people, well, the best way to deal with that is exposure. Protecting yourself is not going to help the situation. You got to expose yourself to the situation that you feel uncomfortable with.
Judge people by the
But
content
you
of their
just a minute ago,
character.
you were trying to exclude Meghan Markle.
Oh, you
from
can't
being
get
black.
more safe in a
You were
theatre
literally-
audience.
You were just
the
trying
idea
to...
that someone like Kahindi Andrews goes to a theatre and feels unsafe because he's a white person.
Piers, a minute ago, you were
Absolutely
excluding
ridiculous.
Meghan Markle from being black because of her skin colour. Now you're saying that's not allowed. So
Say that
which is
again?
it? You just excluded Meghan Markle for her skin colour like 20 minutes ago.
When?
You were saying she wasn't black enough.
No, I asked Kahindi whether he believes she's a black woman.
Yeah, she could come
Right?
to the show.
We've actually had
She could come to the show.
another
allowed.
guest.
Yeah, she's allowed.
We've
Yeah.
had another guest say she thinks she's a mixed race woman, right? I think terminology matters.
Right.
You don't?
No, of course I think terminology matters, but I'm just saying you are defining someone by skin colour and then a minute later
I didn't
saying-
actually define her skin
Can I ask a
colour.
question to you, Piers?
I didn't actually define her skin colour. I asked Kahindi and I asked Amala. They disagreed.
Can I ask a question, please? What's the wrong with just going on a different day? You can still go. You can go on any other day.
It's not.
And they always try to twist your words and take things out of context. Never fails.
Like 2 days.
The point,
what
Kahindi,
exactly
is this.
the problem?
If anybody tried in this country or America to have a white-only audience to avoid the black gays,
already
all hell would
happened.
break loose.
Yeah.
And you know who would lead the charge?
No.
You
It
would.
already happened.
You would, Kahindi
It
Andrews.
already happened.
You would
Segregated
accuse them of being
communities.
racist,
Segregated
and you
schools.
would say in your normal
Piers.
virtue signaling way, it's the Ku Klux Klan come back.
Segregated
And
communities.
that's why you're both guilty of rank hypocrisy.
Segregated communities, segregated schools, segregated
And
theatres.
racism.
These happen today.
Yeah,
That's
Amala,
It's not.
the voice of common sense on this panel?
They're guilty of racism.
Listen,
is
I love
essentially what
white
it is.
people,
And to
okay?
Mr.
White
Andrews'
people-
point,
some of
when
my
he
best
says-
friends
when-
are white, so
when he-
I cannot
when
be
he
racist
says
towards
that
white
theaters,
people.
Okay, here's the issue with this way of thinking. You notice a disparity amongst race and you immediately attribute it to racism. Mr. Andrews says, you know, there are theaters that sometimes you go to them and there's all white people in the audience. Now, I don't know that that is actually true, but if you attribute that to racism, that is your problem. If you feel safe or unsafe in a space that contains white people, that is your problem.
I don't
it
think
is not
it's
our
racist. I think it's
responsibility.
economically racist. I think the reason that most of the audiences in the West End are white is because of an economic problem.
But it's not. I, as a black person, have attended the theater all
So
of
it's
my
not.
life.
Did you
Every
study
single black
economics?
person that has
Or did you study economics? I agree with this lady. I've also been to theatre shows. I've also sat down and watched a show in the West End. It's not specifically a white thing. Going to the theatre is not a white thing. Stereotypically, the theatre is associated with a certain kind of class. I wouldn't even say it's race. Stereotypically, theatre is associated with, you know, the upper class. It doesn't matter what color you are, what class you are, you can attend a theatre show. There's absolutely
Amen. Yes, indeed, man. I tell you guys, bro. You must understand, man, that we all bleed the same, man. I tell you guys, I don't care what you look like, what you smell like, what your age is, and most importantly, your skin color does not matter, man. One race, the human race. One race, the human race. One love. And that's simply what we promote on this channel. One love, man. We love all. And this is why we're divided, brainwashed, manipulated. This is why we're declining. As a country, as a society, this is why. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section, man. Please be respectful in the comments. Keep it real, though.
nothing wrong with that.
I've attended the theater all
So
of
it's
my
not.
life.
Did you
Every
study
single black
economics?
person that has, every black person in the UK has the very same
So why don't they?
choice to go and be in the theater.
why don't
And
they? Because
even
they
if it
can't
was
afford
because of
to.
an economic disparity, that economic disparity does not exist purely because of racism. And to attribute it purely to racism is to ignore a ton of other problems that are existing within the black community
So,
and
can I ask a
blame
question?
white
Why
people
is it
for
then?
it.
So why is it? Because actually, you'll find in America as well, there are hugely segregated audiences for comedy, for theatre, why is that? Why is it you
They're
can
not.
literally go, yes, oh my, yes, there are. If you're saying this, what
To
country do you live in?
segregate-
That you cannot tell me right now, if you go see a comedy in a black community in America, it's just all black people. And you can go to see the same thing in a white community, it's all white people. Residential segregation.
Just
Why do these
because-
things happen?
So just because people tend to be with other people of their similar race does not mean that those shows are segregated. To segregate something is to exclude a group of people, which is exactly what these blackout theaters are doing. Just because you happen to attend a show that is full of black people or full of white people does not mean that there is some sort of segregation
Just by
actively
accident.
happening. And it is a failure in your thinking. Yes,
It's just by
sometimes
accident that America is one of the most
sometimes
segregated
things
countries in
happen.
the world. That just happens. You have these large
America's
ghettos.
not
I've actually, I go to the
It just happens, right?
well, I go to the comedy store in Los Angeles. It's always a completely mixed race audience. I mean, this idea that everything's
course.
segregated is absurd.
Nobody said
Kindy.
everything was
Do you
segregated.
ever go to America?
I never said everything was segregated, but I can promise you there will be.
I've been to the
theatres
theatre
America which are
around
mostly
America.
white.
I've been
Theatres
to
mostly black.
concerts.
Promise
I've been to
you.
sport.
Absolutely.
Always extremely multicultural audiences. This
I know-
idea it's all segregated is for the
This-
birds.
This is
very
what the
misogynistic
victimhood
to use the word
mentality
birds, by the
brings about. You should not
I
feel
can't use the word
uncomfortable
birds
in a
now, but
space
it's
full of
literally
white
I think
people.
my
flying
point
creatures
is, like, do
because
we
James Barr's offended.
I
because
think-
he's misogynist to birds.
My overarching point is, do we believe in safe spaces for marginalised communities? Yes, I do as a queer person. So I see why this is a great idea.
But that was a very, very interesting debate. Like I said, I
Oh, yeah.
understand why there are certain black people who would want to have their own black spaces. Some black people are fearful, some black people are uncomfortable around other races. But I truly believe that if we continue going down this road, we're going to end up ostracizing ourselves from the larger British public. I truly believe that. And I believe the best way to get on with each other is by integrating, is by communicating, is by, you know, intermingling. But guys, let me just...
Man. What do y'all think of that though, man? And again, shout out to my brother for sending that over for us to check out and react to. But you know, a lot of these topics we talk about on the channel, man, and we keep it real. And like I tell you guys, we're living in some dark times, yo. Dark times, man. And y'all know how I feel about the race card, man. One race, the human race, man. One race, the human race. You know, but y'all let me know what y'all think of that. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and just know that I'm wishing the best, not only in you guys' life, but your kids' life, man. The future, the youth, the next generation, man. That we can all come together, man. You know, because we're living in some dark times, man. Divided times, man. The world is a mess, man. It is. You got to love one another, man. God is love, y'all. Y'all spread the love, and I will catch you beautiful people in the next one. Peace and love, y'all.